Most men think when a woman isn't interested, she simply moves on and never looks back. That's not how it works. Women may reject a man, ignore him, or even act cold, but for some reason, they can't fully let go. Why? Because attraction and attachment are not the same. A woman can lack romantic interest but still feel a pull toward a man who carries himself in a certain way. You've probably seen it before. A woman who turns down a guy but keeps him around, randomly checks up on him, or starts acting different when he pulls away. She's not confused. She's emotionally attached in a way she doesn't fully understand. The truth is, women struggle to let go of men who embody qualities that create lasting impact. It's not about being nice, chasing, or proving your worth. It's about triggering deep psychological responses that make her hold on to you, even when she tries not to. Most men fail because they either beg for attention or completely disappear. The real power is in knowing why she can't let go and using that knowledge to control the frame. When you do this right, she will feel a certain level of respect, curiosity, and even a little regret. She may not have wanted you before, but suddenly you become the man she reconsiders. In this video, I'm going to break down 7 powerful reasons why women struggle to let go of men. These are not tricks or gimmicks, but principles that work in any dating situation. When you understand these, you'll never again feel powerless when a woman pulls away. Instead, you'll become the man she can't forget. 1. You trigger her emotional memory. Women don't let go of men who leave an emotional imprint on them. It's not about looks, money, or even status. It's about the way you made her feel. Most guys focus on logic, trying to convince a woman to like them. But attraction doesn't work like that. A woman can reject a man but still feel something when she remembers certain moments with him. See, the female brain is wired to store emotional experiences deeply. If you created strong emotions, whether excitement, mystery, or even frustration, she will think about you more than a guy who was simply nice and available. This is why women go back to men who made them feel something different, even if they didn't commit. Now, here's where most men fail. They try too hard to be consistent, predictable, and safe. While stability is great for relationships, it doesn't create attraction. Women get bored when a man is too easy to read. But when a man triggers deep emotions, whether through challenge, mystery, or unpredictability, he becomes hard to forget. Think about a woman who once rejected you but kept coming back. She may have moved on, but she still finds ways to check up on you. Why? Because there was something about you that left a mark. Maybe it was your confidence, the way you made her laugh, or even the fact that you weren't like every other guy chasing her. A practical example, imagine 2 men. One texts her daily, compliments her, and always agrees with her. The other man gives her great conversations, but sometimes disappears for a while, leaving her wondering what he's up to. Who does she think about more? The second guy, because he triggers emotional curiosity. Women can't let go of men who make them feel something unique. It's not about playing games, but about standing out. If you're unforgettable, she'll always find a reason to keep you in her mind, even if she once claimed she wasn't interested. 2. You represent a challenge. Women struggle to let go of men who aren't easy to win over. The modern dating world has made it too simple for women to get attention. Guys flood their inboxes, validate them, and try to prove their worth. But the men who stand out are the ones who don't make it easy. These are the men who don't give instant access to their time, emotions, or approval. A woman is wired to chase what she perceives as valuable. If something comes too easily, she doesn't appreciate it, but when a man makes her work for his attention, he becomes a challenge, and women respect what they have to work for. This is why women are often drawn to men who seem slightly out of reach. It's not that they like rejection, it's that they crave the excitement of earning a man's time and energy. Now, most men fail because they do the opposite. They think, if I show her I'm interested, she'll appreciate me more. But that's not how attraction works. The more you give without her investing, the less she values it. A woman may like the attention, but she won't feel the need to hold on to you because there was no challenge in getting you. A practical example, imagine 2 men again. One constantly texts her, asks to see her, and immediately responds to everything she says. The other man is warm and engaging, but isn't always available. He responds on his time, prioritizes his own life, and doesn't drop everything for her. Who does she think about more? The second man, because his time feels earned, not given. This is why women often chase men who pull away. It's not about being rude or distant. It's about having a strong sense of self-worth that makes her feel like she has to qualify for your attention. A man who values himself naturally creates a challenge because he isn't desperate to impress her. When a woman meets a man like this, she struggles to let go, even if she didn't feel strongly about him at first. She starts wondering, why doesn't he chase me like the others? Why does he seem so content without my validation? That curiosity alone keeps her hooked. If you want to be unforgettable, stop being too available. A woman will always hold on to a man who made her feel like she had to earn his time and attention. That's just how attraction works. 3. You create a sense of loss. Women don't just remember men who were good to them, they remember the ones they felt they lost something with. When a woman feels like she had access to a man of value and then loses it, it creates a psychological effect that makes her second-guess her decision. Even if she wasn't fully interested before, the moment she realizes she no longer has the option, she starts feeling the impact. This is why walking away powerfully is one of the strongest moves a man can make. Most men, when they sense a woman losing interest, panic. They start chasing, convincing, or trying to talk things out. That never works. Why? Because women don't respond to words. They respond to the emotions that come from experience. If a man simply pulls back, stops giving attention, and continues living his life, she feels the shift. That feeling of loss makes her reevaluate everything. Think about this. Why do people suddenly miss something when it's no longer there? Because scarcity increases value. If you've always been accessible, she never had to think about what life would be like without you. But the moment you remove your presence, she starts to feel your absence. And that feeling is what makes her hold on, even if she wasn't deeply interested before. Now here's the mistake most guys make. They walk away, but they do it wrong. Instead of silently moving on, they make it obvious. They say things like, "I'm done with you," or "You'll regret this." That's weak. A high-value man doesn't announce his absence, he simply becomes absent. No warnings, no explanations, no emotional reactions. A practical example. Imagine two men. One gets upset when the woman pulls back and starts telling her how she's making a mistake. He waits for her to change her mind. The other man? He notices the change in energy, doesn't complain, and simply stops engaging. He doesn't text, doesn't check in, doesn't react. He just keeps moving forward. Which one does she think about more? The second man, because he created a sense of loss. Women respect men who are willing to walk away. It shows that you're not dependent on her interest to feel valuable. And ironically, the moment she senses you're truly done, she starts questioning whether she made the right choice. Even if she never wanted you that much before, she now feels like she's missing something. She starts remembering the good moments, the way you carried yourself, and the fact that you were different. She may not act immediately, but the thought stays in her mind. This is why men who can walk away never get stuck chasing. When you become a man who isn't afraid to lose a woman, you become a man she doesn't want to lose. 4. You are a source of emotional stability. A woman might not show it, but deep down, she values a man who gave her a sense of security, calmness, and direction. Even if she acted like she wasn't interested, the moment she realizes that you are the one keeping her emotions balanced, she struggles to let you go. See, most men either bring chaos or boredom into a woman's life. The ones who bring chaos make her life unpredictable in a toxic way. Too much drama, insecurity, and instability. The ones who bring boredom are too passive, too predictable, and don't give her anything exciting to think about. But the rarest type of man, the one who brings emotional stability while still being exciting. That's the man she never forgets. Women are naturally more emotional than men, which means they are often overwhelmed by their own feelings. That's why they are drawn to men who can handle emotions with strength and patience. If you were the man who kept her steady during moments of stress, made her feel safe when she was anxious, or gave her guidance when she felt lost, she will struggle to replace you. Now here's what most guys do wrong. They either try to be her therapist, absorbing all her emotional baggage, or they ignore emotions completely and expect her to deal with it. Neither works. A masculine man doesn't fix her emotions, he simply stays unshaken by them. His energy is calm, focused, and non-reactive. When she was frustrated, you didn't add to the chaos. When she was upset, you didn't lose control. Instead, you remained the stable force she could rely on. A practical example, imagine two men. One reacts emotionally to everything. When she's upset, he argues. When she's cold, he gets insecure and starts asking, "What's wrong? Why are you acting like this?" The other man, he remains calm. If she's upset, he acknowledges it but doesn't feed into the drama. If she's distant, he gives her space without making it a big deal. Who does she respect more? The second man, because he showed emotional leadership. Women don't want to be with a man who is emotionally all over the place. They want a man whose energy is strong enough to influence hers, not be controlled by it. When you were that man, she might not have appreciated it at the time, but when you're gone, she feels the difference. She realizes that other men don't give her the same sense of stability. This is why a woman will often come back to a man who made her feel grounded. She may not fully understand why, but she knows that with you, she felt safer, calmer, and more centered. That's something she can't let go of easily. 5. You challenged her and made her grow. A woman can be attracted to a man for many reasons, but one of the strongest reasons she can't let go of him is if he pushed her to become better. Most men either chase a woman's validation or fear challenging her because they don't want to lose her. But the rarest kind of man, the one who doesn't seek approval and isn't afraid to challenge her when necessary. Women are naturally drawn to men who make them think, evolve, and step out of their comfort zones. This doesn't mean arguing with her or trying to control her. It means you were the man who didn't just accept her flaws and weaknesses, but inspired her to grow past them. Maybe you encouraged her to be more disciplined, helped her see a new perspective, or simply refused to tolerate certain behaviors she used to get away with. That kind of man leaves a lasting imprint in a woman's mind. Most guys, in their attempt to keep a woman, become too agreeable. They fear calling her out when she's wrong. They allow her to walk all over them because they think that's how they keep the peace. But a man who isn't afraid to stand firm on his values, that's the man she respects, even if she doesn't always like it in the moment. A practical example, imagine two men. One is always agreeable, saying whatever makes you happy even when she's making bad decisions. The other, he doesn't argue unnecessarily, but when something is wrong, he calmly states his position and stands by it. If she acts entitled, he doesn't reward that behavior. If she lacks discipline, he challenges her to be better. Who leaves a stronger impact on her life? The second man. Even if she argues at the moment, deep down she knows he was right. And the biggest sign of this? Later on she changes her behavior because of him, even if they aren't together anymore. Here's the thing. Women don't respect men who fear losing them. They respect men who stand on their values no matter what. If you were that kind of man, even if she didn't appreciate it before, she will struggle to forget you. This is why, years later, women often say things like, "You were right about me," or "I didn't see it back then, but now I understand." Because you left a lasting impression that changed how she sees herself and relationships. She may not admit it right away, but deep down she knows that being with you made her a better version of herself, and that's something she can't easily replace. 6. She felt a strong physical and chemical connection with you. Attraction isn't just about emotions or logic, it's also biological. A woman can convince herself mentally that she doesn't need you, but her body and subconscious mind tell a different story. If you had a strong physical and chemical connection with her, she won't be able to let go easily, no matter how much she tries. This isn't just about intimacy, it's about the way she felt in your presence. The way your scent, your voice, your touch, and even your energy made her feel something that other men don't. Science has proven that attraction is deeply tied to hormones and neurotransmitters. If you triggered the right emotions in her, excitement, desire, comfort, and security, those feelings don't just disappear. Here's what most men get wrong. They think women only care about looks or money. But the truth is, a woman is more attached to the way a man makes her feel when she's around him. If your presence alone made her feel a rush of emotions, she will find it impossible to replace that connection with another man. A practical example, imagine two men. One is conventionally attractive, but there's no spark when she's around him. He looks good, but he doesn't trigger any deep emotions in her. The second man, maybe he's not the best looking, but when he speaks, she feels drawn in. When he looks at her, she feels noticed in a way no one else makes her feel. When he touches her, it's not just physical, it's a feeling that lingers. Who do you think she'll keep thinking about? The second man, This is why a woman can walk away from a perfect guy who checks all the boxes, but she can't stop thinking about the man who made her body and mind react in ways she can't explain. She may go out with other men, but when she's alone, her mind keeps going back to you. That's why some women randomly text or call after weeks, months, or even years, because something reminded them of that connection and they realize no one else makes them feel the same way. This also explains why some women test a man's presence. They might act distant, cold, or even pretend they've moved on, but deep down they're checking, does he still have that effect on me? And if you do, she won't be able to fully detach from you. The secret to making a woman feel this way isn't just in physical looks, it's in your confidence, dominance, and energy. If you carry yourself like a man who knows his worth, if you lead without hesitation, and if you handle her in a way that feels strong yet controlled, she won't forget that feeling. She might resist it, she might deny it, but at the end of the day, it's imprinted in her memory. And that's why, even if she says she's moved on, her body remembers you. 7. You walked away with dignity and left a void. Most men don't realize this, but how you leave a woman determines whether she can truly let go of you. When a man begs, chases, or tries to convince a woman to stay, he loses her respect. And once respect is gone, attraction dies. But when a man walks away with complete dignity, refusing to lower his standards, he becomes a mystery in her mind. That mystery keeps her thinking about him long after he's gone. Women are used to men reacting emotionally when they pull away. They expect a guy to panic, to blow up her phone, to start questioning what he did wrong. And when a man reacts like that, she feels like she has control over the situation. She knows he's waiting, she knows he's desperate, and she knows she can come back anytime if she wants to. There's no urgency, no fear of loss. But when a man simply accepts her decision and disappears without trying to fix anything, that's when she starts feeling something unexpected, uncertainty. She starts questioning everything. Did he even care about her? Why isn't he trying to fight for her? Did she misjudge him? That uncertainty plants a seed of doubt in her mind. The more she tries to convince herself she made the right choice, the more she starts wondering if she actually lost a great man. And that's when regret starts creeping in. A woman will always be more haunted by the man who left without resistance than by the one who begged for another chance. When a man refuses to chase, he forces a woman to sit with the reality of her decision. If he was truly valuable, that silence becomes loud. She may try to distract herself with other men, with work, with social media, but in quiet moments, he will come back to her mind. And because he never begged, never lost his composure, she starts to wonder if she was the one who got left behind, even if she was the one who walked away. A practical example is 2 men who were both dumped. The first man pleads, texts, and keeps checking up on her. He tells her he'll change, that he's willing to do whatever it takes. He's emotional. And even though he has good intentions, she feels zero attraction toward him now. The second man listens, nods, and simply says, "All right, I understand. Take care." Then he vanishes. No extra words, no last message, no begging. He removes his presence completely. The first man makes it easy for her to move on because she knows he's still an option. The second man leaves a blank space, and that space forces her to feel the loss. She may not feel it immediately, but over time, when life doesn't bring her someone better, she starts reminiscing about the way he carried himself. She wonders what he's doing, who he's with, if he even thinks about her, and that curiosity turns into an obsession. Women don't regret losing men who are always available. They regret losing the ones who walked away without explanation, without emotion, without breaking frame. That man becomes an unanswered question, and unanswered questions never fade from the mind. That's why a woman can't let go of a man who walks away with dignity. His absence is felt more than another man's presence. When a woman can't let go of you, it's never by accident. It happens because you left an impact, held your value, and refused to chase. The men who beg to stay are forgotten. But the men who walk away with dignity are remembered. Women don't let go of men who create mystery, stand firm in their worth, and leave a void when they're gone. If she still thinks about you, it's because you gave her something rare. A man she couldn't control, replace, or forget. That's the power of walking away. That's why she can't truly let you go.